Hey guys, so today I'm going to be taking apart the interior. I'm going to start by taking out the passenger seat. If you guys don't understand how my side exit is routed, it actually is a tunnel. As you can see, it's literally we cut the floor and welded it in a box, and it's strong. I don't know why, but when I made that time-lapse video that went crazy viral with over 1 million views, a lot of people think that all that's holding this box in is the seam sealer, which is like the stupidest thing. It's welded into the frame on both sides, and we've stood on it, and I can stand on it, and it doesn't flex at all. It's stronger. If anything, it's an extra brace right here on the chassis. One of the plates for the cage is actually going to be right down here in this corner, and then the other one is going to be there. The other one's going to go right there into the firewall for foot protection. Have like a giant bar, comes up around down here, then X door bars right here, both sides, and then it's going to have the hoop, the thing, the X going back there to the strut towers right there, reinforcing it with plates and everything. This center console piece, it seems like there's just Phillips screws, head things in here. I don't know if that's going to be it, but that's what it was for my Subaru. That just gets this out of the way, which then there's an extra piece. Jesus, this car is so like multi-level. And there's two more, which should probably hold the center console. Turns out the cup holders and the coin bit part literally all just clip out. Which is kind of neat. Because I know there's like a European version for this where there is no cup holders, it's just a full sliding tubby to go right here. Alright, so I removed this. Everything in this car is kind of just leveled on top of each other. You can see how many millions of plastic pieces there are just from this. It's insane. But I think once that's off, this comes off. Yep, I'm right. I'm probably gonna have to find a way to, not really sure how, but to take off the e-brake boot or something like that. I figured out you have to actually pull up on the shift boot, not the whole thing itself, because there's two screws holding it back here. It's funny, but there's actually a wire that runs up here, and it's because this knob is like illuminated. I know the knob is like horrible condition, it has these bubbles, but when you turn on the light, the M badge and all of this lights up. I mean, you can't really see it too much. I didn't even know for half of the time I owned this thing. But you can see how shot my shifter bushings are. That's what I keep talking about when I keep saying I want to go solid shifter, because I blew the hell out of the cup when I was driving once, when I was banging first to second really hard, and I like got it stuck in here. Then from there on out, it's like weird and it's completely floppy. And so the pile continues. As you can see, that got those two off, got this thing off, got everything off. As you can see, I actually cut the carpet right here. You can see how insanely thick it is in some areas and how much weight you can lose just by getting rid of all of it. But I cut it out of this section, and I knew you had to take out the center console and even this to get the whole carpet out, because I know it kind of wraps around the trans tunnel because it has insulation and stuff. But I will be having to take out all of this, because for the next video I'm gonna have to take a spatula, and you can see the sound deadening crap. I'm gonna have to take a torch and scrape it all off, which there used to be sound deadening here, and there used to be all in the trunk and stuff. And you can even see in one of the old videos where it was like M3 GTR plus dry ice. I took off all the sound deadening using all that, but you need to get the sound deadening off because you actually can't weld the cage to the metal because the sound deadening's in the way. So you totally just have to take it off, and it adds up for like weight savings of like 10 pounds or something like that. So kind of a bigger update. Like I said, the pile increases. Took out the centerpiece. I popped out the climate control, the sports buttons, the 12 volt thing, all is unplugged. The radio's unplugged. I took out this vent. Most of it is going to be getting, I'm going to be getting rid of, but I will be flocking the dash. I'll be flocking this bit of it, but not the cup holder bit, just this bit and the dash, to kind of give it a suede look, which is more like this, but darker, like all black. Obviously this won't be here. None of this stuff will be here. That's what I have to deal with. Next is removing all this, the visors, the handles, everything like that will be completely removed. I just watched a tutorial thing and I got the glove box out. Next, there's the airbag right here. So I'm just gonna unbolt, do the 2 bolts right there, and get that out and unplug it. Bomb secured. It literally looks like a giant fat burrito. It's pretty heavy. I never even got the recall done for the driver or passenger side airbag, so it doesn't matter. I'm just taking them off because roll gate. So this is a piece of the dash. I guess I'll probably flock them separately just so I can get the little edges and grooves so it looks a little bit cleaner. I went to AutoZone to get the Torx bits, and I got something that's called the Torx Plus bit. There's a difference. And I need them to get these things off. As you can see, the bolts, the A-pillar, and then also the cluster I need to 100% remove in order to get the dash out. So kind of a fail, but I mean, we're like a step away. So tomorrow, once I get back, first thing I'm going to do is go to AutoZone, get the things I need. Hell, I'll drive it like this, I don't really care. Although I won't be able to roll down the windows. Actually, I will be with the key, but then I have to close it with the key, but whatever. Point is, just 2 steps to do to get the dash out, so we'll consider this a dash removal video. I've also been considering turboing this engine, quite honestly. Supercharging is a little bit boring, I guess. It is definitely the cheapest power route is definitely supercharging this engine, but I have been looking at like some baller top mount manifolds, and I don't know, it's like when I think of an engine swap, so this engine will get a V8 sooner or later, but it's like, for now, it'll be better if I just turbo it or supercharge it, probably turbo, because for the racing class, I was looking into it, you can, if you go up or down 2 cylinders or something like that, like to a V8 or V10, you actually get bumped up to a harder class. But if you force induction your stock engine, it stays in the same class, meaning I'm going to probably be up against, time trial wise, meaning I'm going to be comparing my times to other E46 M3s that are supercharged. But with the turbo, I can definitely make a lot more power and have it way more aggressively set up. But this isn't really so to say engine swap news. It's just I've been looking at the engine swap stuff, and it's really hard to explain, obviously, because it's like I obviously know way more detail about it because that's all I do is search it. But even the S62, it turns out it's really not a plug and play thing. Almost any engine I put that doesn't belong to this car is going to require me to do a standalone harness for the engine, which means maintaining my alarm system for the car, maintaining the radio, maintaining at least heat. If I keep this engine, having AC is a huge plus, and I mean a huge plus, because I can't express how hot it gets, and it's nice. Although I said in the last video, AC broke, it worked yesterday, so I guess it's like an on and off faulty thing, but I can always fix it. My point is, I don't know, I'm confused about the engine. I can 100% promise you that the exterior is going to look like the real thing, give or take. A lot of you have been saying that there's like a little detail in the bumper where it doesn't, like the one he's building goes all the way to the outside. The one in the game kind of goes to the, like a couple inches away from the flare. But I'm not sure. It's kind of too late to change anything, quite honestly, because then it'll be another 100 years. But there's also a guy building an E46 M3 GTR kit across the country in California, which I have talked to before. He's like a legit body guy. Like, he does that for a living. He's created many kits. They're very expensive, but he's really good at what he does. So, I mean, obviously you'll see a picture of it. The flares and rear flares, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think they're better than Waker's? Do you think they're the same? Obviously the price of Waker, what I'm going to be paying for Waker's kit is like cheap compared to what I would pay for this other guy's kit, but I mean, it all depends. But I'm really not trying to like stress too much about that, because even if I turbo it, even if I supercharge it, it's still not for like 2 or 3 or 4 months, or even engine swap. It's still going to be later in the year. Right now, I'm just glad that the interior is going to come together, going to be able to flock the dash, which I'm going to order the flock kit tonight. It's like $90 or something like that. Just finish the interior. It would be nice. I get to spray paint everything that's metal white. I don't know how I'm going to hide the wires from getting paint on them, but we'll figure it out. Point is, cool stuff happening. Or I'll be back with another video of 100% taking this dash out, and then also taking out the headliner, the sunroof mechanism, and then just throwing it in the garage so that if it rains, the sunroof isn't, just open. I do also have a Patreon, which link is in bio, which like about 4 of you support me on there, which I really, 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 really appreciate. But I am trying to kind of make like merchandise for you guys to buy instead. Well, merchandise is a weird word to say, but you know what I mean clearly, like shirts and stuff. So have that coming soon.